research culture, ethics, discipline, everything to us. So it is not only a supervisor role, they have given us a lot of life running informations. They are torch bearers. I am very happy to welcome both of them. I am very happy to welcome all of you. I welcome Professor J.P. Ravi Shankar. He is also instrumental in our growth and development. I welcome former Professor of Parliament's College, Dr. G.S. Madam. This celebration we planned long back, right from 2017. In 2019 we want to execute it. Because of this pandemic, we are not able to execute this one. And I spoke to Professor TSS in December to conduct in the month of January. Because of unfortunate things, we have postponed it to February 28th. Today is very apt day, I think, because the nation is celebrating National Science Day today. And definitely we are all honored to celebrate our mentors' felicitation function on this day. With these few words, I once again welcome you all to this gathering. Let me make this very useful and memorable one. Thank you, sir. Now I request professors to cut the cake and start, because they have completed 75 years.
I shall not take more than 10 minutes. I shall be very brief and scientific also. Today's get together topic. Just we have done this. Yeah.
Because it's being recorded. Better use the mic.
And we'll take a break.
Right. Not because they have turned 75, it is much more than that. So this get together or felicitation is because that Professor TSS accompanied by Dr. Muruganandam of the Windstorm Lab have been ranked by the Stanford University. Most of you know, all of you know, right among the top 2% world research scientists in their respective fields, namely mycology and parasitology. Now, this is not for this year alone. It has been there for the past 3 years. So there are about 3 persons in India who have been named, apart from 2 persons. One from Mangalore, Dr. Sridhar, and one from Potano. I don't remember his name. So that's achievement. So top 2% scientists, and you should also know that they continue to do work, continue to publish, right, and be in the book. And now Dr. Hyde from Hong Kong, right, he wants to publish a list of about 100 top mycologists throughout the world. So he has taken the biodata, details, etc. So this is one of the achievements. So now the research in mycology. I will talk about the Windstorm a little later. I think I know Professor TSS for the past 52 years. I think right from 1974 April onwards, when I joined the post-diploma course in mycology and plant pathology. Right, he was my senior. He was doing research under Dr. Ornes. Now I'm from. He was a terror, right? you will have to be prove. You will have to prove yourself even to enter his room, right? And not otherwise. So we have learnt a lot from them. So his mentor was very good, and he was behind. He was the man behind the motivating Dr. Suri. And of course, Professor Kalyan Sundram motivated Dr. Muruganandam. I knew him for the past 45 years. He continued. Now I get to the subject. Now, after having joined the Vivekananda College, probably in 78, and a little later, Dr. Muruganandam, probably in 80, right? They started with the MPhil course. With the difficulty. I used to frequent the college on union activities, not for any research. So little later, say after about the year 79, 80, I thought I would do my PhD also. I developed some interest. But Suri was terribly nervous, was scary, because he knew that I would run any time behind the union. It was Dr. Muruganandam who stood by me, encouraged me, and motivated Dr. TSS to admit me into the program, PhD program, because there was another fellow, Dr. various past principal of Vivekananda College in the department, who ran away after register. So no doubt Suri was terribly scared. So I joined in for the course in 1983, finished it in 1993. I was awarded the degree in 94 August. They started the MPhil program. There was only very minimal infrastructure. probably a few petri plates, right, a UV chamber, and nothing. MPhil was being run concurrently, PhD program was also in. See, it was because of that genuine effects, scientific thinking, that they were involved in a project. They obtained a project from the Department of Science and Technology, if I am correct. Right? So they had a much better infrastructure. Yeah, an AC, probably a Godrej AC, which was there for about 27 years. Right? And a laminar airflow, and a few petri plates and a few chemicals. So we used to go ahead with the program on that. So that's how they established the infrastructure, right? So I did my work, on marine fungal physiology. I had to struggle. I had to run from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, import the chemicals, etc., etc. But they were doing the work with high-full biology, I would say, high-full morphogenesis, having the microscope, etc. Then it was Professor Arnes who said, nobody has dared to venture in that area, do it. So we, with great difficulty, we are doing, and the publications are on. So after about 10 years, part-time 8 years, and one full term FIP, I completed the project. We published papers even before the PhD degree was awarded, etc. So, and meanwhile, the MPhil program was full-fledged, and it went on, right? So, knowing that the physiology and biochemistry involves chemicals, etc., and instrumentation, they thought they would do the simple work of enumerating the fungal diversity of India. Not that it was not done, but with particular reference to endophytes. So that's how the work started with the biodiversity of endophytes. And they got a number of projects. Getting projects in the college is very difficult. In the universities, it is taken for granted. Even if you don't want, you get projects. I have seen it. People saying, no, I'm going to retire in about a year's time. I don't want. Here it was not so. It's sanctioned from the government of India, BST or DBT, very, very difficult. Because I have led to these departments along with my union work in Delhi. So I know what they expect of us, what is to be paid to them, etc. So it was indeed very, very difficult. They got the projects by their work, by their publications, they got it. So it continued, right? Publication led to the grant of the MSc grant in the Department of Botany. They did not get it because of their work, that the MSc grant for the Department of Botany, Vivekananda College, got it in a much better fashion, I would say, right? And because of the peer-reviewed publications and also the cooperation of students. I know, I think all PhD students have their publications in the international journals, right? And then it was, Dr. Suri was in the forefront, but behind the scene, it was VM who was encouraging him, because he was facing lot of obstacles in the department, right? From the HODs, right? And being in the union, I also threw my weight behind, and we were able to solve. We were able to get more PhD seats from the University of Madras, probably in 1995 or so. And Mr. Govindan was the HOD of the department. So Suri has about 145 publications to date, and more to go, right? And more to go. His citation, he has about 8,500 citations. And the H index is 49, extremely good, I would say. Even the university professors in the Department of Botany or Microbiology, etc., they don't have such a standing or such a status. Right? That is how it goes on. But we will not brag at or will not tell the world about all this. So it went, I would say, unnoticed. He has even papers with the David Hawksworth, you know, the so-called leading legend in mycology. Right. So this is how it goes. And I should say, especially about one citation, that was in Nature in 2004, right, with regard to the biodiversity of endophytes. If I am correct, I will stand corrected. If I am correct, it says the diversity of endophytes is not very high in the tropics as it was thought of, right? And it is now being corroborated by the biodiversity of bacteria in the trees by the Yale University people very recently, as I have seen it in the microbiology journal. So that's how it goes on. So the Instam was started in 2005. The lab goes on, the research goes on, right? So it was started by the with the help of the cooperation of Swamiji. It was officially in 2010, probably in 2010, you know, where we had inherent difficulties or opposition from outside the college, of course from the AUT as well as from the rival union ACTA. And that Instam won the storm with very easily because we had no politics, only we would come to the college, do the work and such on, publish, right, and wait for the publication and then go on. So that's how the Winston goes even now, because Winston did not get a affiliation of the Madras University. So how does it matter? If you get the affiliation, you register for your PhD student, right? We are all aged, we have retired. So our students would take on the registration of PhD and then it would go on from behind, like cats in here, you would work on. So that's how it went on. And of course, there are very lot of private universities. We had invitations, especially Dr. Suri from SRM College, Wells University, etc. We did not go over there. So that's how it went. So those people who unnecessarily created a storm, they withered away. That's how it went on. All have our papers. Now I would talk about lab ethics. So it was only the hard work that mattered much. That's what I know, right? That's what I know. Because even Mrs. Geeta was a student of Dr. Murugan. She did not get her PhD. She has a paper in 1996, right? Probably from Pulicat Lake, they collected seagrasses and then she worked on the fungi of seagrasses. Just because she happened to be Dr. T.S.'s wife, she was not given the PhD, nor did we work for that. So that's how it happened. So, and I should also tell you at this point that either Dr. Muruganandam or Ravi Shankar, myself, we did not associate with Dr. Jesus with respect to all papers. We have not been quarters. If you go through my publication or Dr. Muruganandam's publication, probably half a dozen or probably a dozen. So most of the publications, I would say 99% of the publications which Dr. Suri has or is from his work alone. And just because we come to the lab, be with him or help him, we don't find a place. So wherever we work or we have put our might behind Suri with regard to an work, then we are associated. So that tells you. So we don't automatically become the co-authors of any papers, right? And of course, I should also tell you that there are about a dozen of PhD students, right, who graduated, and about 40 to 50 MPhil students. If I remember, you would have seen in papers with the Governor R.N. Ravi getting a petition from Bhardasan, that university, this university, private or public, that PhD students have been exploited. Tell with your, point out the conscience and tell us whether any of our students have been exploited. One, as far as I know, at least whenever we are present in the lab, we would request one of the research scholars to get us tea at our cost, right? Not with their money, right? As soon as we have tea or coffee because I would descend down to have a smoke, that's all, right? So, except that we had asked them to get tea and lunch, nothing, not even a single paise. And whatever backlog or arrears of money that have been pending for project students or for other PhD students, were given to them. If not right now, at a later they have been paid. So they have not entertained any such fears. So I would say in this connection, Winstrom and especially Dr. TSS and Muruganandam are a different kind of research scientists. So I appreciate it. And whenever I read of such stories, real stories, right, and petitions being moved to the Madras universities, they would realize we have nothing, we have not asked for anything. And I am sure our students also shall vouchsafe for whatever that I say. So the point is, being on a science day, now we have gathered here, right, felicitation, all that, right. What is that you are doing with regard to science? What is that you would do? I wouldn't say contribute in terms of money, etc. What you would do with regard to the further and future functioning of these stars? Think of that. They are 75. I shall turn 75 next month on April 14th. So we are all almost retired, right? We don't take the test tubes, right, or the matriculation work any longer. So it is for the students to meet together, come together, get together and see how this windstorm can be sustained in the future, right? We can only be behind your back. So think on those lines. That is how I would say. That's how I would think. See, probably if you are abroad, right, like Dr. Usaifa and Rajesh, etc., they may not be able to contribute. They can contribute by sending us the papers from nature, microbiology, biotechnology, etc. We cannot pay about $70, $80 per paper. So that is a part that they can take care of. But the rest others, I think some of you are still actively involved in research. Yourself probably become a controller or a principal. You may not be, but yet some of you are in research, right? On a different footing, different scale. One in taxonomy, the other in physiology, or probably in biochemistry or microbiology, or probably in mycology itself. So some of you should come to see whether windstorm can be sustained. See, the Ramakrishna Mission is doing it, right? They have been watching us over years to see whether this can be continued, how best to continue, etc. So initially they even offered honorarium. All these were declined. Now honorarium has been declined even by Dr. TSS, although he is in Coimbatore, now to accommodate Dr. Govindarajulu, right? And then whenever our projects are delayed or we think the basic metabolic has to go. So somehow we survive, right? Big for chemicals or for instruments, etc. And then they slowly, the lab moves on. So taking into account all these aspects and factors, you see how windstorm can go. And second, we don't employ any artificial intelligence, AI to AZ, right? And there has been no question of retraction of our papers at all, right? Or what kind, whatever be the kind. Because I am not only talking of retraction these days, right? Think of retraction or acceptance 30 years back, right? Being a Malani, Brownie. Think of the attitude of those Western research scholars, right? There is no question of even inclusivity. Now, we are faced with a lot of problems also. Even then also, even this era of AI or whatever, there is no question of retraction for any of the papers from INSTOM, although it might get delayed. It might get delayed. So that's how I would tell you that we have long miles to go, right? We will not be satisfied with whatever we have achieved, right? If you have seen the universities or the laboratories, right? Very few publications, very few work, and even from colleges. I should tell you at this moment, last week from Savita College, SRM College, and other institutions, there have been terrible retractions of papers. It continues to come in papers, right? It continues to come in papers. You should note all this. So bearing all this in mind, we'll have to have the reputation, take care of the reputation of INSTOM, and also the students who are associated with INSTOM, that they should bear this in mind and then act. So on this occasion, right, on this occasion, I would say that it is not a big function, it's an occasion that we have got together, right, after probably a long time, to felicitate Dr. TSS and Professor VM. So I take this opportunity, probably I have crossed my limits, more than 10 minutes I think so, right? Am I correct? Right. I've crossed more than 10 minutes, but I cannot, I have been very relevant in my talk with respect to the points concerned. So I thank all of you that you have taken great pains to come from outstation to attend this event. Thank you.
And I request Dr. JPR to offer warning and short to Professor TSS.
இங்க வா சார். சார் நீங்க தான் சார், நீங்க பண்ணுங்க சார், பண்ணுங்க சார்.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. K.P. Girivasan to offer garland and shawl to Dr. U. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. N. Trivakaras to offer a shawl to Geeta madam. Please, madam. Thank you, madam. I request Dr. V. Kumaresan to offer garland to Dr. J.P. Ravishankar. And shawl. சார் பரவாயில்ல சார், எனக்கு என்ன சார், நானும் ஸ்டூடெண்ட், நீங்கள் தான் சார், வாங்க குமரேசன் சார். குமரேசன் placing the loafer garland and shawl to Dr. J.P.
சொன்னதை பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க.
I request P.T. Devarajan to present a small memento to Professor T.S.S. and D.M. Professor T.S.S. P.T. Devarajan and to Professor D.M. I request Muralidharan to present a memento to Dr. J.P. Ravishankar. பரவாயில்ல சார். சார் ப்ளீஸ் வாங்க சார், வாங்க சார். சார் யூ ஆர் ஈக்குவலி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்.
Not equally. You are embarrassing me.
No sir. Yeah. I request Professor N. Tirunavakar sir to present memento, a gold coin to Dr. T.S.S. அதான் இது வேற சார். A small memento from all of us. I request you to give a big hand, sir. This is a gift from all your students of MPhil and PhD. Yes. And I request Tirunavakar sir to give Professor V.M. also. Yeah, Govindraju, please. Yeah, Govindraju. A small gift from us, from all of us. It's a token of love. Now I request voluntarily those who want to have, want to say something about your experience with Professor T.S.S. and V.M. You can come forward. It is voluntary. It is not that it is compulsorily you have to give. Those who are interested, you can come forward and say a few words about our mentors who have contributed for our life. And I request, Kumaresan.
சொன்ன பாயிண்ட்ஸை கண்டஸ்ட் பண்ணா கூட
respected, most respected, my research supervisor, Dr. T.S.S. sir, most respected, my, you can say, well-wisher, and he has also guided me to a lot extent, Dr. V.M. sir, and Ravishankar sir. இப்போ என்னன்னா 3 பேருமே நம்ம இதில் காலேஜில் ட்ரையோ அப்படின்னு போட்டிருப்பாங்க சார். ஐ ஃபீல் தட் ஃபார் ரிசர்ச் யூ 3 were ட்ரையோ டு அஸ். ஸோ T.S.S. sir, V.M. sir and J.P.R. sir. It is like today being Science Day. We used to say about Raman effect. So light, it's a relationship between light and matter. Maybe you are light to us and we are matter, and maybe because of the change in wavelength and whatever we get out of that, so we have gained a lot, maybe with little shine somewhere here and there. So my journey started in Vivekananda College as a research scholar, not as a student. Of course, it is from 1991. Research scholar since 1997 when I joined Dr. T.S.S. sir as a research scholar in ICFR project. Then I registered for PhD and I worked in Pichavaram mangrove endophytes. So it was a great thing because we had to travel every month, and sir used to accompany me in the early days. There was one Dr. Yeganathan sir from MSSRF who used to help us. And I know generally there will be a distance between guide and student, but sir was kind enough, when we stayed, sir accommodated in the same room in the hotel when we actually went for collection. So that was a great gesture showed to me by him. And as the research project, he had confidence in students, especially he used to give ideas, we used to work, and he had a great confidence. And review. Some now and then we used to have review, and sir used to again, or sir ஒரு review பண்ணுவாங்க, அப்புறம் VM sir, no, he understands and he just goes through, and sir வந்து என்னப்பா வேலை நடந்ததா அப்படின்னு. So every time we used to have some thing activating, we get activated, and somehow we used to, and later on as the research progressed, we were able to publish in peer-reviewed journal. That is Canadian Journal of Microbiology. That was maybe the good breaking point, maybe for me at least. So we had few publication. Maybe because of that, sir had recommended me to IAC Bangalore after doing my PhD with Sukumar sir. So after that, it was first to Natarajan sir in CS in botany, and from there to Sukumar sir, IAC. Maybe that changed my life. So I attended various interviews, and that place, IAC or word, maybe that could be the main reason where I got through that UPSC, whatever I am today, because of all of you, all the three I can say. Really, after that, there is no, even after that, sir used to, we have that touch as far as research is concerned. அப்பப்போ ஐடியா கொடுப்பாங்க, வருவோம். சார் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் நடத்தும் போதெல்லாம் மோஸ்ட்லி வி ட்ரை டு அட்டென்ட் ஸோ தட் வி கெட் மோர் இன்புட்ஸ். ஏன்னா சார் மாதிரி அட்லீஸ்ட் வி ட்ரை டு, பிகாஸ் இன் a government college with facilities are little, we cannot get everything. அப்போல்லாம் சாரை நினச்சிப்பான் எப்படி how he used to manage, but still the encouraging words அவர் சொன்னது அதெல்லாம் வந்து comes to my mind, and try to work. யார் எது சொன்னாலும் நம்ம ஒர்க்கு நம்ம கேரி அவுட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். ஸோ ரிசர்ச் still goes on, sir. I'm still working on endophytes and mushrooms, somehow managing to publish. Sir. So just trying to, so all your encouragement. And VM sirலாம் இப்போ ரெண்டு பேருமே சார் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. I can take some 2-3 minutes, sir. Physiology எடுப்பாங்க, photosynthesis I still remember. சார் வந்து even not only mycology, ரஷீத் ஒரு புக் வச்சிருப்பாங்க டெரிடோஃபைட்டுக்கு. அது இட் கிவ்ஸ் எ கம்பேரிட்டிவ் அக்கௌண்ட் ஆஃப் பிஜியில் கம்பேரிட்டிவ் அக்கௌண்ட் படிக்கணும் ஆர்டர் லெவலில், ஃபேமிலி லெவலில். ஸோ ஸ்டில் ஐ ரிமெம்பர் தோஸ். அந்த நோட்ஸ்லாம் ஸ்டில் ஐ ஹாவ் சார், எம்எஸ்சி நோட்ஸ். ரொம்ப நல்ல ஒரு டைம். ஐ டோன்ட் நோ, இப்போ வந்து வி ஆர் டூயிங் ஜஸ்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியுமான்னு தெரியல. இப்போ நாங்கள் எடுக்கிற கிளாஸ் இன்னும் இப்போல்லாம் பவர் பாயிண்ட் வந்துடுச்சு. How students are receptive, அதெல்லாம் தெரியல. But that time it's only board method, and that is still I find that is the best one where students can receive. PowerPoint பார்த்துட்டே போனால் ஒன்றும் இது இல்லை சார், but still, so that was really, we had a wonderful time. BSc, MSc, அப்புறம் research. So in my lifetime I cannot forget. So அதனால தான் எப்போ சான்ஸ் கிடைச்சாலும் whenever you call I பார்க்கணும் உங்களுக்கு அப்படின்னு வந்துடுறது. And my friends, maybe when the reason why I joined, one of the reason maybe Devaraj and Ravindran, they were doing MPhil that time. அப்போ அவங்க தான் சொன்னாங்க உங்கள்கிட்ட பொசிஷன் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. And the juniors, all sir, most of them they are doing very well. ராஜேஷ் ஆகட்டும், உசைஃபா ஆகட்டும், விஜய். ஸோ whenever we speak, எப்பயாவது வாட்ஸ்அப் கால் பண்ணும்போது we always talk about நீங்கள், விஎம் சார், ரவிசங்கர் சார், எல்லாம் இட் கம்ஸ் ஏதோ ஒரு விதத்தில் வி ஜஸ்ட் கீப் டாக்கிங். நல்லா இருக்கும். அண்ட் ஐ ஃபீல் இப்போ த ஹைட் தே ஆர் கோயிங், எஸ்பெஷலி விஜய் அண்ட் உசைஃபா, ரியலி இட்ஸ் கிரேட் டு சி தேர் ஸ்டில் தேர் ஒர்க்கிங் அ லாட். அண்ட் மேடம் வந்து நான் வெரி சிம்பிள், அப்பப்போ எல்லாம் இந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்லாம் மேடம் பார்த்து பேசுவேன். ஸோ ஷி ஆல்சோ ஆல்வேஸ் ஹேஸ் அன் என்கரேஜிங் வேர்ட்ஸ், எப்படி இருக்கீங்க ஃபேமிலி. ஸோ தேங்க்யூ மேடம். And I thank especially Rajagopal sir, Govindaraj, Dr. Rajagopal sir, Dr. Govindaraj, Dr. Thiravakar, who have actually brought us together. They had it's a great effort. Thank you. I thank you for the opportunity.
So good evening to my respected teachers. It's a great occasion today. We celebrate Sir C. Raman's that finding 1928. On 28th of this day, the Raman effect was discovered. Okay, so actually, in our life, teachers, when we get very good teachers, he can stand anywhere. So that was a very good, I am an example. Okay. So here, in the year 1991, I completed my UG degree from Satyagraha College. So there are two teachers there. One is Dr. Parthasarathi, okay, a student of Jayaraman. He's a good teacher, okay. He motivated me. Then there is another teacher who is very good in color shop. He used color shop. That is Dhanshekar, okay. So then in the 91 I completed my BSc. Then I applied to all other colleges. I didn't get a seat in any of the colleges. Then immediately I came to know that I am in OC1 waiting list. Okay, so Rajagopal joined in Bishop College, National College. Then accidentally I got a seat in the Vivekananda College. Okay, so at that time Ganeshan was there. These are some of the memorable things I want to share. Okay, Ganeshan was the principal, and Govindan sir took me to the principal room and he asked me this. I never, I did not know anything about that. See, the thing is, a teacher should always believe a student, okay? So that's a negative impact I faced from the principal, okay? Then immediately I joined the course. My father was only 7th standard, okay? Mother was 8th standard, okay? So you know the situation now. Then I joined in the Vivekananda College for the MSc, okay? So I'm not good at English, especially I didn't change one of the things what my mentor said, my handwriting, okay? So they correct the papers and they put only 51. I used to go to VM sir and here sir, my student, I have wrote all the answers well, but you have given only 51 marks just for sir. Sir, you improve your handwriting. Still I didn't improve my handwriting. That's the only thing I didn't improve. But the thing is, after 93 I completed my MSc from our college, Vivekananda College. Then in the 94, I joined immediately for MPhil under the guidance of Dr. VM. Okay. So it's an experience. So what we learn from our teacher as a researcher, as a teacher. Okay. So I have both the experience from both of these great teachers. Okay. So in the 94, when I did experiments, okay, in the MPhil, one incident still I remember. Okay, how the teachers cover us, that's very important. When I worked in the peat, we worked in a hypersaline environment, and I worked in peat with the help of Dr. P.S. Suryanand sir and Dr. Sukumar sir. He sent some sample. Okay, Sandinella, carbon dating. Okay, so then the sample, we did some 19 samples, if I remember, and after completing 5 samples, sir asked me to present your findings. Okay, so we both of them presented very well. JPR was there. He asked one question. I said, all you got aspergillus, I won't believe you. They are all contaminants. Question. Still I remember that. In the MPhil lab. Okay, still remember. Yeah. See, the thing is, immediately, oh my God, I could answer. At that stage I could answer. Then, sir, both of them, no, Giri, you should keep a control page. Believe it or not, at that time only I know it. I have to keep a control page. Now students, one or two students are doing PhD, I say them, okay, you do that. Have a control page of that. So this I learned. Then we worked together, myself and Rajagopal. We will be there in the lab up to 6 or 7 because at that time JPR sir is doing his PhD, last phase, okay, the PhD what he has done. So at that time there is no what is called as that cold room everything. Cold room is not there. So sir was doing that enzyme, peroxidase enzyme in the gel. So if you remember, we took it in the lab, okay, department lab, and kept it in the fridge. Yes. And outside we took a photos in that. I remember seeing that. It's a green memory, veranda.
We have even done it in scientific advance.
Yes,
yes, sir. So that see the things. The thing is, whatever we do, we should be very sincere. Okay. And similarly, after completing my MPhil in the year 94, Sir used to ask about both VM sir as well as PS sir, what about family? Why can't you go for PhD? Then I told, no sir, my family, my father is going to retire in 3 years. And my family is big, I am the eldest. Okay, so openly we asked. Then sir told me, yes sir, you go and join under Natarajan for that project in Andaman Nicobar, that projects. And I told, no sir, I can't go. Then under BPR Vittal sir, Uday Sharma. So that project sir recommended me. Okay, he has written a letter and he recommended me, but the situation was not good at that time. Okay. Then I immediately my friend Muralidharan, okay, I remember Muralidharan, because he helped me to enter into the school. Okay, so that's in Abbatu. There was 1 year school I worked for 3 years. Then I passed the ARS examination at that time and CSI and other things, and then it is like I qualified and entered into 1998 so completing 27 years we have completed, myself and Deva. See, why we remember all these things means teachers are always, very few teachers we get it in right direction. Okay, so fortunately I got all Parthasarathy sir and Dr. VM sir and Suryanarayan sir. So they are gem. Okay, they didn't expect anything from us, only love and affection. Okay, so that we have to give it for our students. Okay, especially those who are in the teaching. Okay, then after that, after getting the job, see nowadays I won't call sir as well as through phone because we maintain a distance. Fear, that's the only thing. Teacher பார்த்தாலே ஒரு fear இருந்தது அந்த காலகட்டத்தில். That's the real thing. இப்போ அப்படி இல்லை சார், இப்போ எல்லாமே பயம் இல்லை சார். ஒரு நாட் ஃபியர், சம்திங் லைக் வெரி ஒரு இடத்துல வந்து அவங்கள வச்சுட்டு போனாங்க, நம்ம ரொம்ப அவங்க கிட்ட பேசக்கூடாதுன்றது அந்த ஒரு தான். நவ் த சிச்சுவேஷன் ஹஸ் சேஞ்ச் என்டையர்லி. ஓகே, ஸோ இப்படி போயிட்டு இருக்கும்போது 2000 வந்து சார்கிட்ட சொன்னேன், சார் ஐ வாண்ட் டு ரெஜிஸ்டர் சொல்லி முருகானந்த சார்கிட்ட சொல்லியிருந்தேன். அப்போ வந்து இடம்ல அப்புறம் வந்து சார் சொல்லிட்டு ஐ ரெஜிஸ்டர். ஐ வாண்ட் சூரியநாராயணன் சார் இன் பாம். ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ ஒர்க் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருக்கும்போது மேடமும் வருவாங்க லேபுக்கு. அப்போ வந்து பார்க்கும்போது சார் வந்து பார்ப்பாரு, என்ன லிட்டரில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஒர்க்கு கொடுத்தாரு. லிட்டர் ஃபார்ம்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது சார் வந்து பார்ப்பாரு, வந்து பார்த்துட்டு ஆஸ்பெக்டிலஸ் நிடுலன்ஸா அந்த ஸ்டார் ஷேப்பில் அதெல்லாம் இருக்கா, டியூப் செல்ஸ் அந்த ஸ்டார் ஷேப்பில் ஆஸ்பெக்ட் கோர்ஸ் இருக்கான்னு பார்ப்பார் சார். சி அப்போ வந்து ஒரு டீச்சர் வந்து எப்படி கைட் பண்ணுறது, தே ஆர் வெரி குட் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ தட் மீன்ஸ் வி லேர்ன் ஒன்லி ட்ரூத். அதான் இதோடைய விளைவு என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா ஐ டிரான்ஸ்ஃபார்ம்டு டோட்டலி. ஓகே, ஐ டிட் சம் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ், 5 ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் முடிச்சிட்டேன். தென் ஒரு பொசிஷனில் வந்து வென் ஐ பிகம் ஏ சீனியர் மோஸ்ட் ஃபார்மில் ஐபிஎஸ்சி கோஆர்டினேட்டர் வந்திருக்கேன், இப்போ இருந்துருக்கேன். தென் வெரி ரீசன்ட்லி இப்போ இந்த லேபில் கற்றுக்கிற ஒரு விஷயம் எனக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிச்சு. ரீசன்ட்லி ஒன் ஆஃப் த காலேஜ் செலக்டட் ஃபார் நீட் எக்ஸாமினேஷன் வாஸ் பிஎஸ்சி நந்தனம். There was a problem. On Sunday they have to release the result. On Saturday the case goes to High Court. One student written a complaint. என்னோட இன்விஜிலேட்டர் வந்து ஹாலில் பேசிக்கிட்டே இருந்தாங்க, 15 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் தரல அப்படி சொல்லிட்டாங்க, நீங்கள் வந்து அந்த இதெல்லாம் கரெக்டாக டேப் பண்ணி அனுப்பலை அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணாங்க. பிரின்சிபல் வந்து டாக்டர் ஜோதி வெங்கடேஸ்வரன், அவர் ரிட்டையர் ஆகிட்டாரு. அடுத்து அவர்கிட்ட ஃபோன் பண்ணால் எனக்கு அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் தெரியாது, நீ தான் டெப்டியாக இருந்த, நீ தான் பார்த்துக்கணும் சொல்லிட்டேன். பட் ஃபார்ச்சுனேட் என்னன்னா, நான் வந்து இப்போ லேபில் வந்து சார் சொல்லுவார், ஏதாவது ஒன்று அனுப்புனா அந்த ஸ்பீட் போஸ்ட் அனுப்புவோம்ல, அது பின்னாடி ஒட்டி வைப்பேன். இன்றைக்கி தான் ஒட்டி வைக்கிறேன் பின்னாடி. அதே மாதிரி சில டாக்குமெண்டேஷன் சரிங்களா, லேபில் நான் நிறைய விஷயம் கற்றுக்கிறது இந்த டாக்குமெண்டேஷன் எனக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிடுச்சு. அதே மாதிரி டிஎன்பிஎஸ்சி எக்ஸாமில் வந்து ஒரு கேர்ள் வந்து குரூப் 2 பாஸ் பண்ணிடுச்சு. அப்போ இருந்து வந்து ஜெயச்சந்திரன் ஒரு பிளைண்ட் விஷுவல் சேலஞ்ச் பிரின்சிபல், அவர் எனக்கு ஒன்றுமே தெரியாதுப்பா, எனக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாது, எனக்கு கணக்கு தெரியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டாரு. அப்போ அதில் கூட நான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவேன், நான் சீனியர்னாலும் நான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவேன் காலேஜுக்காக. அந்த சூழ்நிலை என்னாச்சுன்னா, ஒரு பொண்ணு வந்து கேட்குது, அந்த இன்விஜிலேட்டர் யார் இருந்தாலும் அவங்க கிட்ட சைன் பண்ணால் தான் நான் மெயின் எக்ஸாமுக்கு அலோவ் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லி டிஎன்பிஎஸ்சி வந்து அங்கேருந்து டைரக்ஷன் லெட்டர் கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. பட் என்ன பண்ணேன்னா, அந்த இன்விஜிலேட்டர் லிஸ்ட் எல்லாமே நான் பத்திரமா வச்சுருந்தேன். அப்போ அந்த காலில் யார் இன்விஜிலேட்டரை கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டு அந்த மேடத்துக்கிட்ட போய் சைன் வாங்கி அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்டோட ஃபியூச்சரை பாருங்கள், இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நான் ஸோ த திங் இஸ் வென் வி கெட் குட் டீச்சர்ஸ் அவங்களுடைய கூட தான் நம்ம போயிட்டுருக்கோம், அதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஸோ நோ அதர் டோன்ட் திங்க் தட் என்னை பற்றி பெருமையாக பேசுகிறேன்னு நினச்சிக்காதீங்க. ஸோ இவங்களுடைய கைடன்ஸ் தான், உங்களுடைய பிளெஸிங்ஸாக என்னை இதுவரை கொண்டு போயிருக்கு. Now recently Nandanam Arts College today they have signed an MOU and we are going to construct a building for 10 crores and another 3.4 crores from Casa Grande and another builder. Okay, அது ஃபைனலைஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு இன்னைக்கு. ஓகே, ஸோ வந்து the thing is விஎம் சார் எப்பவுமே சொல்லுவார், ஒரு இன்ஸ்டியூட்டில் நம்ம இருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா we should do service. ஸோ அந்த பேஸிஸ் 13.5 crores வாங்கி கொடுத்துருக்கு. ஏன்னா நிறைய நடக்கணும், நிறைய ஓடணும். ஸோ ஐ ரேன் பிஹைண்ட் த பீப்புள், எஸ்பெஷலி பயோடைவர்சிட்டி போர்டு. அங்கே போய் அவங்களை பார்த்துட்டு ஐஎஃப்எஸ் ஆஃபீஸர் பார்த்துட்டு there is a scheme சொன்னாங்க, சிஇஆர் சொன்னாங்க சார், கார்பரேட் என்விரான்மெண்டல் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி லைக் சிஎஸ்ஆர். ஸோ I went there several times. I went there, tested them, and the way which I convey the message is only truth. Adala vandu because of the blessings of my teacher, my parents, I could achieve it. Okay, now the building is going to come there for 10 crore. Okay, the thing is, see the thing is, whenever you see a teacher, not only they are teaching. Okay, so sir vandu நமக்கு வந்து நிறைய கிளாஸஸ் எடுப்பார், ஆஃப்டர்நூன் கிளாஸஸ், நைட் 6 o'clock வரை டாக்ஸின்ஸ், வைவோ டாக்ஸின், பேக்கோ டாக்ஸின், இதெல்லாம் எப்படி டிஃபரன்ஸ் பண்ணுறது சார் நல்லா இருப்பார். சரிங்களா, அது ஃபிசியாலஜினா சார் வந்து சார் 10 நிமிஷம் தான் பேசுவார், ஆனால் எவ்ரி திங் வி கெட் இட் டு மைண்ட். ஸோ வாட் ஐ வாண்ட் டு கன்வே இஸ் நாட் ஓன்லி தேர் டீச்சிங் மட்டும் இல்லாமல் ஹவு த பர்சனாலிட்டி, அது தட் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஃபார் அவர் ஃபியூச்சர் students. So in that way, both of you as well as sir, JPR sir, guided us. Especially I remember in the beginning when I entered the lab, நீங்க எனக்கு அகாரே தரல, பிளேட்டே தரல. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்ணி இந்த 2 ஃபிங்கர், இந்த 3 ஃபிங்கர் இப்படி வச்சுக்கணும், இந்த 2 ஃபிங்கர் இப்படி வச்சுக்கிட்டு பிளேட்டை ஓப்பன் பண்ணி வாட்டர் ஊற்ற சொன்னீங்க. அது சின்ன கூடு இல்லை, அப்போ வந்து ஆஃப் கை போடக்கூடாது, எல்லாத்தையும் உள்ள தள்ளி ஆஃப் கையில போடணும். ஸோ அந்த பிளேட் ஷேக் ஆகாம அப்படியே வைக்கணும்னு சொன்னீங்க. இப்படி வச்சு இப்படி தான் தரணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க லேமினேட் ஆர்ட்ஃபுல்ல. ஓகே, ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் ஆல் very good practices. The best practices I learned from my teachers. Okay, so thank you for the opportunity seeing all my juniors as well as my colleagues. Okay, so it's a great opportunity, sir. I thank Dr. Rajagopal and Tirunavakarasa and Govindaraj for arranging this, and have you all blessed by our teachers. Thank you.
It's my turn to say a few about my mentors and Felicitation Ceremony. 1988-91 I completed my BSc in Vivekananda College. That time I used to take mythology for first BSc. Then MSc I had to go to Trichy. I did my MSc there. I joined Bharathiar University and Dr. Ganapati. Recently he said the Bharathiar University and Bharathiar University, how the VECs are behaving to the students, and he got it red-handedly recently by the CBI. Ganapati, I joined him under as an MPhil candidate, but I left and I joined the professor TSS. Giri சொன்ன மாதிரி ஃபீஸ் அப்போ தான் பே பண்ண 135 ரூபா ஃபீஸ் MPhil. எல்லோ கலர் பில் எடுத்துட்டு கிரி எனக்கு தெரியாது, எனக்கு கிரியே தெரியாது, ஃபீஸ் பே பண்ணிட்டு போகிறோம். ரவிச்சங்கர் சார் அந்த க்ரீன் ஹவுஸ் அந்த முன்னாடி ரூமில் உட்காந்து ஃபீஸ் அதெல்லாம் இருக்கட்டும், பிளேட்டை வாஷ் பண்ணி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அப்படிங்க. மொத்தமே 15 பிளேட்டு தான். அதில் ஷர்மா கொஞ்சம் வாஷ் பண்ணி வச்சுருந்தாரு. அப்போ ஷர்மா எங்கள் சீனியர் சார் வந்து அதெல்லாம் இருக்கட்டும் பண்ணல, அதெல்லாம் வாஷ் பண்ணி எப்படி பண்ணி சார் சொன்ன மாதிரி வாட்டரை ஊற்றி ஒரு 300 தடவை ட்ரை பண்ணிருக்கோம். இப்போ ரீசெண்ட்லி அவர் லேப் இஸ் கிளீன்டு சார் இந்த செகண்ட் ஃப்ளோர், அண்ட் ஸ்டில் ஐ ஹேவ் தட் lamina, that miniature small one, still we have. I used to tell my students this is how we got trained, and we want to keep it for another 100 years because we are all trained in that only small chamber, how to handle plates and how to pour the media. After that we joined, and because of TSS and JP Ravishankar and VM, I got the opportunity to work in the same college as a first full-time PhD student in the Department of Botany. And sir working on soil fungi, I worked on soil terms and he worked on peat. In 95 beginning, after submitting the MPhil thesis, we went to principal, that time Jagarajan, chemistry principal, and he is the only principal who died during the service. And myself and Giri went inside and asked to sign the TC, and he said, what you are going to do next? I said, we are planning, sir, we have to do. Why don't you join PhD in the same college itself? Then you have to write exams and you have to clear, then only you will get the stipend. But that time Giri was very categorically said, no sir, I am not going to do any research, I am going for a job. And அப்போ தமிழில் சொல்கிறார், யானை வேட்டைக்கு போவேன்னு பார்த்தா முயலை பிடிக்க போகிற நீ அப்படின்னு ஜாகராஜ். But unfortunately, right? But why I am telling, not only TSS and so every teacher in the Vivekananda College encourage, irrespective of the department, they used to encourage students to go further in their career. I remember myself and Giri started working first endowment study on Cyprus, Otandus and Kilanga. You gave these two grasses, you just work and how to do sterilization and all that. We just started 95 January we started and we showed the plates to sir and we said, oh, we are getting very good results. And then sir wrote a lot of projects. And after that, no looking back for Professor TSS and VM. And we are all have to be very proud that the person who got several crores of money from a college, I think sir has achieved that. Everybody used to say that in the University of Madras, because I used to go there for getting signature of Dr. Professor Natarajan and Dr. Vittal. They used to tell me, "Enna pandreenga? Nalla results varudhu, nalla funds varudhu. How you are doing it?"
Korean shop. It was these two people, they were also my teachers. They never accepted endophytes. They said contaminants
Yes.
from air. So with great difficulty.
Yeah, we
by what they had to prove that contaminants are different, right? Endophytes are different. Surface, billosphere, flora are different. It has been established for a long time.
So they used to tell us, what you are doing in the college, we are doing a lot of work in the university, we are not getting any results, we are not getting any funds. But sir proved that, and we showed the endophyte and we showed the endophyte growth. After that, lot of projects to the department, and the offshoot of department is a windstorm, is going very good. And University of Madras, recently Dr. Bayani, director of CAS, he came to our college for a valedictory function and he appreciated the functioning of windstorm. And every secretary after Ramadananda, even today they are appreciating her work, and even today they put forward Botany department as a benchmark for doing research. And the current secretary is very much associated with the Botany department, and he said you have to work like your guide and you have to produce paper like that, and we are doing it. Even though we are not able to reach up to his mark, but we are doing it. And today the department has got a very good name and fame because of you too, sir, and the contribution what you have done. And it is going to talk for years together. It is
It was previously chemistry.
now it is outdated. Now chemistry is nowhere near with the Botany department, and physics also they are not doing any much of work. But the current secretary having a lot of hope on us, Department of Botany, and I think we are doing some good work because we have trained from you. And VM sir, sir is like a mobile dictionary. We show the paper, we show the thesis. Sir, paper, VM sir, Pascara, okay, you go ahead with the presentation. To that extent, the friendship, they believe each other, and even today we are able to write some article or some paper only because of their encouragement and other things. And Ravi Shankar, இன்னைக்கு ஒரு நாளைக்கு 4 டீ குடிக்கிறோம்னா சார் தான் வருவார். பேக் இந்த பேக் மாதிரி வச்சுருவாங்க, கண்ணாடி கழிட்டு ரிசல்ட் வந்து தான் பாரு, ரிசல்ட் வந்தாலும் டீ குடிக்க கூப்பிடுவார் சார். ஆமாம், ரிசல்ட் வந்தாலும் டீ குடிக்க கூப்பிடுவார், ரிசல்ட் வரலனாலும் டென்ஷன் ஆகி டீ குடிக்க கூப்பிடுவார். மைசூர் பண்ண உதயபுரி அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கடையில். பட் மற்ற பழக்கம் வரல சாப்பிட்டு, டீ சாப்பிட்றது மட்டும் நிறைய டீ சாப்பிடுவோம் இன்றைக்கும். அதனால் சாரை மாதிரி என்கரேஜ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு யாருமே கிடையாது. ஃபினான்ஷியலாகவும் நிறைய ஹெல்ப் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. In 98, first time Suri sir asked me to go to Thailand for Asia Pacific Mycological Conference. Sir was supposed to go to that conference. Because of some reason he was not able to go. So 98, I went there, Madam sister, and a small incident, but they helped me to come out of that problem. And after that, when I was in the Wales University, I want to bring Professor as a director, and I spoke to my chairman. He said, but sir is not interested to come to Wales or any private institution. Professor Anand was the vice chancellor there, first vice chancellor, and unfortunately he suddenly expired. Sir, I invited for our national conference. Yes. And then my chairman agreed, whatever he asked, we will give, ask them to be first director of life sciences. But sir, some other windstorm and other work was not able to come there. But in every experience from Department of Botany, that is we are today. We are able to manage administration, we are able to manage classes. Saturday physiology and photosynthesis. My students are there, so I handled the physiology for them. And Sir got the Agrias book, plant pathology. Plant pathology, I was able to clear ASRB net exam only because of that book. I was in the hostel. Friday evening I used to ask sir, Saturday, Monday morning I book in class. Saturday, Sunday I used to take to my home. I used to write. Nowadays that practice is not there, sir. Nobody is writing reference, nobody is referring. Everything they simply ask for this one, type, get it down, and all cut and paste. Our correction has become double because they used to do everything manually. We used to sit with them, results vechukkom sir அப்படியே the cinema la சொல்ற மாதிரி ஒரு வரியில கதை சொன்னா கதை கொண்டு வர மாதிரி we used to tell result, they used to give the discussion part or experimental part. Really a very good experience, sir. Today we are because of you and Professor Ravi Shankar and the madam. Yes, yes.
Work for it.
அப்புறம் நல்ல காஃபி வேணும்னா சார் அடிக்கடி சார் மேடம் வீட்டுக்கு போவோம். வசந்த அப்பார்ட்மெண்ட் அடிக்கடி நல்ல ஒரு காஃபி கிடைக்கும், சார் வீட்டுக்கு போவோம். இன்னைக்கும் ஸ்டில் வி ரிமெம்பர் தட் ரெட் சைக்கிள். சாருக்காக நானும் கிரி நிறையா போய் அந்த சிறுநெல்லியா பிக்னிக்காக வாட்டர் எடுத்துகிட்டு வரோம். இதில் போயிட்டு அந்த அளவுக்கு எங்களை சப்ஜெக்ட்ல அவ்வளோ டீப்பா பார்க்கணும். ரொம்ப கேர்ஃபுல்லா பார்த்துட்டோம். Everything is a learning experience from them. Yes. So with these few words, I thank my mentors and நம்மளுக்கு வயசில்ல வாழ்த்துறதுக்கு, but they have to be there for another years to come and they have to guide us. Thank you. Anyone? Respected teachers.
Today, I stand before you all is because of our teachers, you can say. I have been with them as a student doing PG degree in Vivekananda College and then as a scholar under their guidance. As a teacher, when I studied a PG degree, the college, many teachers teaching, they will teach, but something what I taken from them is very important. That has brought here before you all, standing before you. That as a teacher, when I go to the class, they are very, very punctual. They never miss the class. Whatever the job is there, I can say about VM. Whatever he has gave you or anything, anywhere, because he stands in the class and correct that. He doesn't miss the class. Very sincere. We can also say about TSS also that he never misses a class. They are very good teachers and as Rajagopal and he was said, we used to remember both of them. They are, we can say they are two extremes in teaching. One we can say, coming to Dr. T.S. it's very, very precise. He explains so beautifully, all will accept when he teaches photosynthesis, how the phosphate changes. What phosphate comes in the 6th position, that still we remember. The cycle is goes so clearly that still we remember. We can't forget that. He always teaches. He brings a book. I have seen he brings a book. The book, he teaches. In any case, if you see in any subject, if you take, you come with a book, just explain what is there in the book, what you want to know, that alone he teaches. We can't forget, sir. Still I remember you teach some photosynthesis or in plant pathology, the forecasting methods, how that all we remember. He never, you can say, go beyond the subject. Whatever is required, which is sufficient, and we can remember and we can write the exam. So precise we can say, and so brilliantly he teaches that we have taken, sir. We are doing that all now. And the other extreme, you see, Dr. VM is another extreme, where he starts in a subject, but he never ends. He goes connecting, all the subject. You can say by listening to him to know all the fields. He goes from plant pathology, he enters every field and come to the again to the point. He connects everything. Even a small basic point also he connects. And he also creates a research temper at the time. He always say, he used to teach pathology, as I said, pathology, how research will be done. All the research points he will tell that we have taken. And that also has motivated us. And by the teaching of TSS, all motivated us. The teachers that we get has motivated us and has taken us to the next level as a research scholar. Then I then came for MPhil degree, immediately accepted. I got selected and then that. And research also. Suryanarayan sir came in the Sailama area, yes, he said yes. And he comes, every day he comes. Every day after classes 3 o'clock he comes to visit the lab, he sees what is going on. That is how a mentor, or you can say mentor, or you can say guide comes and sit with us, what I have done, what you have seen. That's all I remember, still remember, sir. And taking photographs. He used to sit with us. He spends time. After 3 o'clock he comes, up to 5 o'clock he sits with us. He teaches what to do in the research, how to approach the research. Then the various plans he gives, next what we can do. And you can say, Dr. VM also used to come in the lab. Also always say, you should do this. What is the point you are doing? That's all we remember clearly. And JPR comes suddenly, nowhere we don't know, suddenly he comes, like a storm he comes, says that, you do that, you do this. He said, yeah, why you didn't do? I said long back, 1 week back, you are not done. But you are slowly approaching. And what Jesus said, yes, we can do. But the time that we worked on then, we didn't have the facilities. We had a minimum facility and we could be able to achieve at the time, for the first time we can say, we achieved, we published papers, international paper, then slowly as numerous that for the first time we published in the Canadian Journal of Microbiology, then we started to do more work on endophytes. Slowly we started, but what then we was working with the minimum facility, whatever we was doing that we have achieved, and we got a benchmark on the first few years itself. In 98, we got a benchmark, then we said that SAR became one of the leading mycologists in endophytes. There it comes. And as JPR said, it always comes. Whatever is not possible in the lab, he used to tell, we won't do. But it is not possible, but we always think. But you can see what I was doing at that time. I was a teacher then. I was working in Vidupati. Then as Girivasan approached, I also approached Dr. TSS. He immediately accepted, yes, you join. I remember, sir, small the get he said they could join PhD. And he said, "Nana varam mudiyuma. Vilupurathil irukka varam mudiyuma ketta." Yes, sir, I'll come, sir. I remember, still remember, I used to come Friday night, I'll be coming here. Saturday full I'll be working up to 8. And I had a good friends, good juniors, you can say. They were helping me a lot. I I still remember they were helping me. So, Felicitation and Murli. Yeah, they are great friends. They help me a lot. I used to hear, but one point I should tell, all the students of the TSS are very best students. They are very, very sincere. They supported everyone.
PM says, PM always
Very good students, sir. They
tells me
supported
that
me.
I am a very lucky person.
Yes.
Because all my students were sincere. Research the sincerity is most important here.
That's how we are here, sir.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
achievements. And as you said, 2% scientists
Yeah.
in your car.
Very good.
Validating and replication.
I used to come. I used to run Saturday leave now. I used to come here, work in the lab. Sunday also I work. Gold also I remember me. Hours also remember me that I used to come. Similarly, he said lecturer, then he comes. He works Ponneri. From Ponneri he used to come Saturdays, Sundays. Being a teacher, he used to wash plates, and we do every work. You should see the lab, how we cultivated our lab. You can see, inculcated that this. Even the professors used to do all the work. Even when the lab, anyone is not there, we used to speak to the lab. That is how the culture has been developed in the lab, and we are standing here. We used to do all the work, and we are very happy to work with both of us. Very happy. And there was no, you can say, whatever we was, we used to. That is, we don't usually go anywhere. He provides everything. That's the one thing. Luckily, we had projects. Otherwise, it was not possible to completely finish. He has provided. Yes, you come and do whatever you want. He said. So we continued like that, and we can say one more thing also. He said, see, you have to complete it. You have to publish paper. You move out on the lab, get the degree. That is the one he said. So we worked for that. We sincerely worked, and as he expected, we completed very quickly. Not like JPS.
He had a tough problem.
We completed within. It took time, but as early as. But that time, the end of it's very early that time. He was working very early, so we are not able to complete, or we can say we are not able to move. Otherwise, we are not very clear. That was the initial point. Then after that, we are been publishing more and more. So he said that it's enough. Myself and Billy was in, yes, it is enough, you can go. He said he was very happy, completely happy, still sad, but he had other works. Giri was involved in research, but I had another work, so I was not able to concentrate on this research. But still, how you do here now, what is your attitude, the research, still in the age of 75, after retirement also, he continues, he wants to do something to the mycological world. Similarly, we have the same attitude in one day or other day, come out and do research and we'll be like you, sir.
No.
That we promise. And Kandipa will do that, sir.
I know it's not easy, government college.
No, I said that I will come out and come out because now we have many constraints, sir. I involved in the administration and
I know because of he worked in.
one more thing, we don't have facility. So the one more thing, the big thing is we don't have good students. I should have sincere students. So when I think like you, if I get student, I can do. But I don't have such students, only few students. But I also did not consider getting recognition, so that is the different problem. But one day will come out, sir. I come out, I'll do something to the mycology.
That will do it.
And one more thing I want to add here. It is very important to say about TSS and VM. And of course, JPR, sir. It is very important that, Sir said, he was struggling at the early beginning. And he had two great friends. One is Dr. VM, other is JPR. Without them, it may be possible, but with this both of, you can say, he has shined constantly. We have been encouraging him, motivating him. Otherwise, it is not possible. So, it is important that we should have a good friends. That is, I want to stress. We have good friends like I used to always talk with Giri, then Kumaresan, and then Murli sir. Long back I was talking. Then I used to talk Sankaran sir. So we have to have a good friend, sir. Then only you can shine in life. One more thing, that is motivation. And one more thing, you have a good students. Long back I said, when I joined the service, I said, without students, you can't shine. And I think you had a very good students and will be very good and will take your name about this and you have that. I am very proud to say that I am Dr. T.S. student and mentors like William and JPR. I am very proud, sir, and we will keep the name and we will lift your names.
Thank you.
Actually,
you praise yourself.
I don't know, but I do, sir. I want to do something. I want to do something.
You say something good.
Yes, sir.
That's what you mean.
Yeah, I am good student, sir. I can tell I am good student.
Of course, all the, I would say,
Thank you, sir.
all the improving PhD students have been extremely good, right? Nobody has done that name. Good publication structure, nobody can contest that, no doubt.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
2 minutes, sir. You can have 2 minutes.
So I don't take much time, 2 minutes. So Dr. T.S. sir, Dr. VM sir, Dr. Ravi sir, and professors, and my dear colleagues and students. We are admired with T.S. sir, but my thing is when I joined Vivekananda College 2010, Dr. T.R. Balasubramanian sir is running our department. He is head of the biochemistry department. He is one of the best admirer of Dr. T.S. sir. He was retired in chemistry, but he is admirer of T.S. sir. So by the time sir said to ask T.S. sir for a few classes in biochemistry department. So since we are in biochemistry department, so we called T.S. sir many times in sir given talk in our department. So thereby we are influenced with sir. And since we are in biochemistry department, I always wanted to do the interdisciplinary subject. So I approached sir for in mycology. I thanks for sir. 2010 I was approached sir, but by the time there was no recognition. Sir said that we wait for some time. Our lab get recognized in another few years. It goes on 2010, 11, 12, finally 16. Sir said, don't wait for recognition. Register with the Thiru sir. So I joined that. And I thank TS sir for the 2 things. I got a research fellowship. For 2 years I got a fellowship. And I got, to my credit, I got 3 papers from TS sir. And I always, I thanks TS sir for the help. And VM sir, he always admires us in many way. And Ravi sir always Pitvarania, Adigadi, and I'll have Seri Ormata, part time Varna. Anyway, I thank VM sir, Ravi sir. Thank you all, sir.
Respected Professor T.S. sir, Dr. VM sir, and Dr. Ravishankar sir. 2 things I want to tell. Dr. Ravishankar sir said correctly. ரிசர்ச்சுக்கு எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச சார் 2 பேரும் அந்த மணி மைண்டடாக அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணதே கிடையாது. ஏன்னா உங்களுக்கு நியூ அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு தெரிஞ்சுக்கணுங்கிறதுக்காக இதை நான் நிறையா பார்த்துட்ருக்கேன். ஒவ்வொரு இடத்துலையும் அதெல்லாம் வந்து பேரம் பேசுறது அதெல்லாம் எந்த இதுவுமே கிடையாது. 1. 2வது இப்போயாவது ஏஐ அதெல்லாம் அப்போல்லாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. அது எப்படி அவங்களால அவ்வளோ பேப்பர்ஸ் வந்து யூஸ் டு த ரீப்ரின்ஸ் சார் வந்து இப்போ இந்த கோலாட்டக்குடி பற்றி சொல்வார். ரீப்ரின்ஸ் லேட்டஸ்ட் ரீப்ரின்ஸ் யூஸ் டு டேக் அந்த கோலாட்டக்குடி ஃபார் பிளான் பாத்தாலஜி சார் அந்த மாதிரி டயக்ராம் விஎம் சார் டயக்ராம் போர்டு வர எழுத ஆரம்பிச்சார்னா அடுத்த கிளாஸ் ஜிஜி சார் வந்தோன்னா ஃபஸ்ட்டு அவர் முதல்ல இருந்து அழிக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் ஆகும். யார் விஎம் வந்துட்டு போனாரா அப்படி போர்டு ஃபுல்லாக. சரி, அது மாதிரி அந்த ரிசர்ச்சுங்கிறது அவ்வளோ ரொம்ப, அதாவது அந்த லேபு அது பார்க்கறதுக்கே ஒரு கஷ்டமாக இருக்கும். பின்னாடி அந்த மாதிரி உடஞ்சி இடிஞ்சு மேலே ஒரு ரூம் இருந்தது, அது சும்மா வந்து பூட்டி வச்சுருந்தாங்க. அது ஒன்றும் யூஸும் இல்லை, யாரும் யூஸும் பண்ணக்கூடாது, நம்மளும் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நிறையா பாலிடிக்ஸ். அதுலேயும் 2 பேருமே ரொம்ப இன்றைக்கும் அந்த ரிசர்ச்னா என்ன அப்படின்னா they will discuss only with அந்த மைக்காலஜி பிளான் பார்த்து அதுதான் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. வேறு எதுவுமே எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச எதுவுமே டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணவே மாட்டாங்க. வேறு அவுட் சைடு அந்த டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டு அதை எதுவுமே பேச மாட்டாங்க. இது மட்டும்தான் அந்த சயின்டிஃபிக் இதுதான். அண்ட் இந்த இதில் வந்து ஐ ஷுட் தேங்க் டாக்டர் கீதா மேம். ஏன்னா அவங்களுடைய சப்போர்ட் தான் சாரால் அவ்வளோ தூரம் முடிஞ்சது. இல்லை இட்ஸ் வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட். ஃபேமிலி சப்போர்ட் இல்லாமல் அதை வந்து அவர் சாரெலாம் வந்து 6 o'clock 7 o'clock வரைக்கும் இருந்து லேபில் இருந்து எகெயின் சண்டேவும் வருவார். அஃப்கோர்ஸ் இப்போ சார் வந்தால் கூட அவர் ஃப்ரீக்வெண்ட்டாக யூஸ் டு கம். சண்டே வருவார், சாட்டர்டே வருவார். அந்த ஃபேமிலியோடய அந்த அதாவது ஃபார்மேட்டிவ் ஸ்டேஜ் அந்த குழந்தைகளோடையும் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணாமல் அந்த ரிசர்ச் அந்த மேடம் வந்து ரொம்ப தேங்க் பண்ணோம். அவங்களுடைய அந்த கைடன்ஸ்னால தான் சாரால் இவ்வளோ தூரம் அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியுது கண்டிப்பாக. அண்ட் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், சார் தேவராஜ் சார் சொல்கிற மாதிரி அப்போ இருந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இப்போ கிடையாது. பட் வி ஹாவ் டு அவைலேயே நம்ம போய் தான் ஆகணும், வேறு வழி கிடையாது. ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you. Now I request Professor TSS to address this.
Thank them on our behalf. Yeah. So I will be really quick because it is time. But see, first thing is when you see a building, the building stands. You admire the building, but it is because of the basement, which you don't see. So like that, if I'm thankful to the students who have arranged for this wonderful felicitation. We are extremely happy. So when I look at these, whatever you call achievements, I have a group of people to whom I have to express my gratitude. So first, I thank the organizers for this excellent gathering. It has given me an opportunity to think back and look at people who have really helped me. So first, quickly, what is it that sparked? See, science is something which is more like a hobby. You have to develop some interest. If you don't develop an interest, it doesn't mean you are not an intelligent fellow. No, science is just another branch. So how did I develop this interest? I don't know. See, there were a lot of connections. Like for example, my father's elder brother was a student of Krishnan, who was C.V. Raman's colleague. Today is C.V. Raman's. So they published a paper in Nature in those days. T.S. Anantapadmanabhan was his name. So, and then my mother's father's brother was professor of botany in Vivekananda in Residency College, Narayan Swami. M.S. Swaminathan is distantly related to my father. C.V. Subramaniam is distantly related to my father. But I never approached them for anything. They also did not recognize me as their relative, as he knows. So anyway, so there was science, and then my uncle, my mother's brother, was a naturalist. He was a bird watching, and he was a chemist, but he was interested in natural. So through all these people, I had some sort of a liking for science. And then, so let me quickly say who are all the people who really stood behind me. So when I did my PUC in New College, and then after passing the PUC, I applied for BSc Zoology. I was interested in zoology because of my uncle for bird watching and all that. They said no, we are not giving you a seat. So there was in Tamil we had our syllabus was more than what you are doing in MSc during PUC in those days. So we had a syllabus in which in Tamil there were 22 lessons. When I exam, I didn't have the, somberi, so I just read only odd number 1 3 5 மற்றெல்லாம் விட்டு போனேன். அங்கே கொஸ்டின்ஸ் எல்லாமே ஈவன் நம்பர். ஸோ திருவள்ளுவரை பற்றி கேட்டால் நான் திருவள்ளுவரை பற்றி படிக்கல. லாஸ்ட் மூமெண்ட்டில் நான் வந்து காரைக்கால் அம்மையாரை படித்தேன். ஸோ காரைக்கால் அம்மையாரை பற்றி எழுதி அங்கங்கே திருவள்ளுவர்கள் போட்டு விட்டேன். பட் இன் தோஸ் டேஸ் டீச்சர்ஸ் யூஸ் டு ரியலி see the answer paper clearly. So they said, since I got very good marks in other subjects, biology, physics, chemistry and all that, though I failed in Tamil, they said, okay, make this fellow clear. So they said, continuation pass. Nobody knew what continuation pass means. Even teachers could have, what is this continuation pass? Go and ask the university. They said, because you passed got good marks in other subjects and because you failed in Tamil, we are allowing you to pass. So adu mari irundanaala they said, new college said, no, you won't take you. So I was just walking back home, and on the way I met my teacher, C.P. Rajagopal, who taught me botany in PUC. Enna inga poindirukada? I said, sir, seat illantanga. Are you interested? I can get you a botany seat, because he was botany professor. I said, okay. Then he wrote to the management saying that I was related to him. I was not related to him. That my cousin was something is there, and I got a seat. So I can never forget Rajagopal for that. And then later on, when I was studying BSc, there was a major financial crisis in my family. So I had to stop. I thought of discontinuing BSc, and then Mr. Rajagopal said, you don't have to discontinue. I will stand as guarantee for you in bank loan. So he got me bank loan, and with his guarantor signing thing, I finished my BSc and MSc. So I am ever grateful to him. He passed away a few months back. Then I have to thank Narayan Swami, my mentor, with whom he guided me for his PhD, and he was a very straightforward man. Extremely frank. Because of that, he earned a lot of enemies. Same thing happened to me also, you know that. So he was, he had a very ethical thing. We learned a lot of things under him, not only science. So, and he never used to tell us you should be like this. He lived that life, and we followed that. He was extremely ethical and would not fear anyone. So that was a great thing with him. And then I got a job in Vivekananda College after doing my PhD. I joined. After coming to Vivekananda College, after spending 2 days, I lost interest. It was a useless place as far as I was concerned, because I was thinking that we could do some research. No research was there. There was only one microscope. And not only that, there was a general feeling among the colleagues of that college that if you are a PhD, you are a useless fellow. They were all MSc, but I am only a PhD. That was the feeling. And then at that time, Muruganam had not joined that college yet. So I went back to my Narayan Swami, to the university, and told him, sir, I am going to come out of the college. He said, what is wrong with you? It's very difficult to get a job. That too, you got a job in a good college run by Swami. I said, no, see, it is all easy to say it is run by Swamijis. So I want to do research, and there is nothing. He said, see, research, you are not in a university. If you want to do research, you create an atmosphere. I said, there is nothing there, only a microscope. If I had some petri dishes and conical flasks, then I could do something. He said, okay, you write a letter to me, and I will lend you. So he gave me 15 petri dishes and 8 conical flasks. It's a letter easy. I got that. That is how it started. At that time, college Saturday and Sunday holidays. So there was one student by name Raghuram who was doing his MSc, and he was interested in research. So Saturday and Sunday, we used to get the department key, and we used to do the work. We were because we had a microscope, so we were interested in looking at hyphal growth pattern and all that. And then the work was so good that he did such an excellent work We published that paper in a British journal in that time. And then, so that gave me some confidence that we could do something because the students are interested. So slowly, I could get more and more students who did their work not because of anything, but they used to come on Saturdays and Sundays and do the work. At that time, one day we were doing some work on a Saturday, and Satyapriyanandeji Swamiji, he was there. He had just joined the college, and he saw this lab was open on Saturday. So he wanted to know, Saturday college is closed. How is this is open? Then he came in and he saw, then he asked us, then I told him all this. And he said, okay, we will help you. That's how he created this windstorm. And then there was one junior Swamiji by name Raman Maharaj, who was also extremely helpful to us, both VM and myself. Today, the present Swamiji, Swami Dhyana Kamyanandaji Maharaj, he is extremely helpful. He is encouraging windstorm like anything. Now comes what made me choose endophytes. So nobody knew about endophytes. Only people who are doing tissue culture knew about endophytes, because when they do tissue culture, these things will come out, and it was a nuisance for them. They took it for granted. So then I used to, during vacation, I used to go to Institute of Science and stay there with our old student by name Bhaskar. He was a student there doing his PhD. So he used to accommodate me in his room, student's hostel. So for 1.5 months I used to stay with him, and then meet people in the library and all that. So I met Professor Ramesh Maheshwari, who was in the biochemistry department, and he was working on neurospora. And so I was interested to, he was working on neurospora, also on thermophilic fungi. So I got a INSA visiting fellowship, and then I visited his lab for 2 months. I stayed during May vacation, and then during which he under his guidance I learned about cellulase, thermotolerant cellulase enzymes, how to assay that, and how to isolate thermophilic fungi and all that. Then after completing the course, on the last day he asked me, so you have learned everything, so what are you going to do when you go back? I said, I can't do this work because in my college there is nothing, just a microscope. There's not even a spectrophotometer, so how can I look for enzymes? Then he said, why don't you look for something which, why don't you do something which you can with the available instruments? I said, then I told him, maybe I'm interested in looking at epiphytic fungi which are growing on the surface of the leaf. He said, epiphytes, there is a lot of work already on that. Why don't you work on endophytes? Then I asked him, what are endophytes? It's he who told me what endophytes are. And then he said, he introduced Jim White of Rutgers University, who was working on endophytes of grasses. And so I came back, and then in those days there were no emails, so I used to send aerograms, and got a reply from Jim White, and that made me think of endophytes. Then what happened was, Ravi Shankar, by the time Muruganandam joined our lab, and we had a lot of hitches, as Ravi Shankar said. There were people who were with us, but they were against us, and let's not skip all those things. So I always, whenever I wanted to give up, it was Muruganandam who used to push me and said, no, go ahead. So, well, anyway, so what happened was, about these endophytes, I began the work with some of the students, and it slowly developed. And see, the work that I have done what you are all praising me for is nothing unique or difficult. Anybody could do it. It so happened that I was lucky to choose a problem which others had not attempted so far. That's all. So that's why, and it's a very easy thing to work. As you all know, people who work with them, damn easy. You can do that. And so it went on like that, and because of Maheshwari's thing, I started working, and the students. In the meanwhile, I had collaborators, both in India and abroad, who helped in our studies. We even have one paper with M.S. Swaminathan and on endophytes, and then there are other scientists, many. Yeah, and Venkat Gopalan, who was our alumnus, who was in Vivekananda College doing his chemistry. At that time, I didn't have any contact. I didn't know him. He is now he's now in Ohio State University. He's working on microRNA, and he worked with the Nobel laureate, so Sidney Altman. And so when Sidney Altman came to Bangalore, Venkat brought him to our college, and he was requested to give a lecture, public lecture. I think many of you would have attended that. So yeah, so that is Gopal Venkat helped us and to get some sort of an exposure, international exposure. Then students. Well, all my students, as Muruganandam used to always say, that he used to always tell me, hey, nee lucky da, because one of the students are sincere and hardworking. That's really a fact. So far, with the 147 papers I have published, not one paper has been cited for a wrong reason, or not one paper has been retracted. So because the students have been extremely sincere, they did not bluff, or not. For 50 students, one of them could have bluffed India. I don't know. Nobody did that. And even today, the paper published by Kumaresan or the grasshopper, yes, yes, even that is cited even today. That too from a small lab. And there is also, we have to accept this fact that generally people, the Western scientists, they prefer not to cite papers from places like Southeast Asia or India. They may have their own reasons, but still they do. They can't avoid. That shows how sincere the students have been. So the students have been responsible for today's function. And I mentioned collaborators. And then two of my close friends, Ravi and Muruganandam. When Muruganandam joined, his field was plant pathology. He did, he discovered something very unique. Published it in Indian Journal of Current Science. But Joseph Kuch found that anymore. He used to be with me telling, no, you should go ahead. So I owe it to him and Ravi. It was Ravi once went to university and he saw on the table of Dr. Vittal that there was an invitation, some information about international seminar in Portsmouth in London, in England. So he took down that and came to me and said, you should apply for this. And I never had faith that I would be able to do it. Then I applied and I got it. That was my first trip in plane, aircraft, and also abroad. So it was, I presented his work, which was really appreciated. So Ravi, and finally, I just take 2 more minutes. This is going to be a little more personal. My family, I have to thank them, especially my father, who was never against my wish to continue as a teacher or a researcher. Although I got a job, a medical representative job, which would pay me more than the fellowship that I was getting in the university, and my family had a financial crisis, he could have told me, no, this is not the thing, you should have gone there. He said, no, whatever you want, you pursue. So that was really nice of him. And my brother Vishwanath, my sisters Radha and Mahalakshmi, they were always by my side, supporting me, and my brother compensated for my, for the financial loss and all that. So he used to do that. Yeah, so I thank all of them, and as you mentioned, without my wife's sacrifice, she was very particular that I should not mention this. And I also said, okay, I won't mention. But what about others? They think this man, so, and that nowadays it is very dangerous, somebody can even file a case. Yeah, so I better be very clear. So she took care of my entire family, not only my 2 boys, but my sisters. And even today she says, when I tell her I'm having knee pain and things, she said, don't worry, even if you're going to sit in a wheelchair, I'll drive you, you go and do the work as long as you can. So without her, certainly I would not have done anything. I actually didn't know what was happening in the family. I used to come to the lab, do the work. People can find fault with that. Even my own children can find fault. But so I'm really happy. And I don't know if you all will accept that I am telling the truth. Thank you for all this, but it doesn't touch me at all. I don't feel that I am somebody unique or than it doesn't affect me. But what I want all of you to understand is, all of you to know is, whether research or not, let's be faithful to the work that we do. If they can ask me, what is it? We were trained students, and then most of them are good. And as Govindraj and Tirunavasan, because they are right now in the process of running the lab, Govind is running the lab, and we have now deposited nearly 160 cultures, 140 cultures of fungi collected throughout India, which have some unique traits. They may be producing something unique in the culture collection of India. So that way, the genetic resource we have submitted and we have done that. So you think of you motivate the student, that is enough. But you motivate the student, put them in the right thing, and never be, this is what my Professor Narayan Swami taught us. If I am convinced that you are capable of doing something, research capable of doing something, you are very advantageous. I should not care about anything else. Okay? So my father taught me and also this professor. So we follow that, and I hope you also follow that. And he also knows that it's good. And so keep all this in mind, and thank you very much. Did I miss thanking anyone else? Sure? Yeah, we have, okay. Time. Did I miss anybody? No? Huh? No, nothing. So thanks a lot. Huh? Good.
I don't think I need my. Well, I think my voice is reasonably. My close friend, Dr. Suri, Dr. Professor Geeta Suri Narayan, and students. I think for the last, for nearly 1.5 years, one of the hours, I've been listening to what all the so it has almost included everything, almost everything. There is nothing for me to say, but still there are a couple of things, Dr. Suryanand died here in Vivekananda College, 8. Then in the year 2008, here. I've been closely associating myself with Suryanand. Here, at this juncture, I have to mention about Bertrand Russell, a philosopher, a British philosopher. Our former president, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, has asked to say a few words about Bertrand Russell. He said, the greatest philosopher of 20th century is Professor Dr. Bertrand Russell. This man, initially he started his career as a mathematician. He was there in Cambridge. Even today, mathematics students, they study Russell's theorem. So that, you cannot complete BSc or MSc mathematics. In addition to that, he is known for one more thing. There is a field called mathematical logic. He was one of the pioneers of this area. When this man resigned the job and started studying philosophy, many people have questioned him as to why he preferred this. That time he said, I found that mathematics is not sufficient to explain the cosmos. Therefore, I decided to go for philosophy. And we did a lot of things in philosophy, doctorate, etc. As Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan said, he is the greatest philosopher of 20th century, no doubt about it. There are a couple of words, he quite often, mentioned in his works. That is intellectual honesty. By the way, I was introduced to Russell's philosophy by one Professor C. Radhakrishnan of Vivekananda College in the 80s. And from then onwards I've been reading his works. Of course, I was introduced to two things. One is philosophy, and the other one is, of course, Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, and science, of course. So he quite often used to insist on this intellectual honesty. Now, If a person is interested in growing, whatever field we choose, growing and becoming somebody, or if a person wants to make a mark before he leaves the world, he should have intellectual honesty in all aspects of life. But it's very difficult. It's not a joke. In academic research, I could, spot it in Surya. Please don't think that I am a close friend of Surya. I am telling you, no. I've been watching this for years. Ever since I joined the sales department, sales department research. When I came over here, I could closely watch the kind of work that he was doing and how he has dedicated himself. And of course, as he has pointed out, he has got a very good, what shall I say, his teacher and his relatives, some of them are very contributing. He has got that kind of, exposure. And I was not, I have no hesitation in saying that Dr. Suri has acquired that trait, and he has made a mark in this area of research. Now, this is possible, again, as Dr. pointed out, Dr. Suri pointed out, as some of you mentioned. The students who join for research, if they are very sincere, dedicated, and if they are going to do their work up to the expectations of the guide, research supervisor, definitely such research, guide or supervisor definitely can come up in life. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Now, Suri has got that intellectual honesty in the field of academic research. And therefore, I'm not at all surprised that Suri could achieve a lot of things in the area of research. And not only that, he was awarded, Fulbright scholarship by I think JPR has mentioned that Fulbright scholarship was awarded. And then the only thing that really narrowly missed was Doctor of Science, days. Unfortunately, there was some politics. I didn't want to go into details. He should have got it. Unfortunately, he could not get it. It is not his fault. It is the fault of somebody else. I don't want to go into the details, as I said earlier. He richly deserves the degree of Doctor of Science, because the amount of work that he has done, he really deserves it. That is how I did, and I told him also about that. One of the university, CS Botany University professors was telling me, it is primarily because of the politics he could not get it. Nothing else. Because the person who got the doctorate at that time, degree of Doctor of Science at that time, he didn't publish to the extent of Oxford. But he got it. How is it possible? Probably in India, I think it is possible. What is that? Against I can say. This is the most unfortunate thing, but still.
It happened even with the Dr. Ignacio. They got it local.
Look at that. So, he really deserves that. And as many of you pointed out, behind every man's success, there are so many. Professor Geeta Suryanarayanan. I came to know about we are great friends, and I used to quite often go to his home and all the evening whenever. So I know the family and all that. My wife was working in Bharati Women's College in the late 90s or something like that. At that time, Professor Geeta Suryanarayanan was a senior professor there. She came to know quite a few things about it. The most sincere teacher, very good teacher, and all that. Quite a few people told my wife, and she told me about that. That is how I can know about that aspect of it. I have a nice family, and but for her support, but for the entire family support, Suri would not have dedicated so much of time, for his research, especially in the 80s, when I joined. We used to sit there in the lab, late in the evening, we used to discuss all these things. And the first, JPR mentioned, that Ravi mentioned, the first major project, which is, I think, Department of Environmental DSC.
That was due to you. I forgot to tell them.
Then this all. See, the petroleum degradation by Punjab, excellent area, but unfortunately we didn't have any facilities here. As Suri has pointed out, we couldn't proceed further. It is during that period, that Suri went to University and he has met Ramesh and all that, just mentioned. Now what I am trying to say is, almost every day we used to sit there and we used to discuss things, write that project, and finally we got the project. Because of that, the PG grant, for the department, for the first time, even though PG was started much earlier, PG grant was given only after this major project. There are some UGC regulations, I think they mentioned, these are the things, unless you, give all these details, we will not be in a position to give you PG grant, etc., department itself. So that is how we got that. Because of that, and we have some papers published in the projects. So once again, the sincerity of it, I don't want to take much of your time primarily because I don't want to make you to wait for long period, before you do that. No, I don't want that. But still, these are some of the things that we should share. Especially, I don't know how many of you know some of these things. We should know that. The sincerity of purpose that is there, the tenacity and perseverance, these are some of the things I think I can. Please, Suri, don't criticize me. These are some of the traits I could see in him, right from my association with Suri, university days onwards. Okay? Tenacity, sincerity of purpose, and perseverance against so many odds. There are quite a few things that we have not mentioned, quite a few things. Had a good number of things Dr. JPR mentioned about some of those things. But in spite of all that, he was able to successfully carry out research. Many odds. Even at that point of time, colleges were known only for teaching, not for research. So many teachers, sorry to say this, the teaching fraternity, they themselves are against. This is the most unfortunate thing at that time. In spite of all that, he was able to carry out this research. And I think I should, at this juncture, I should say something about it. Though time permits, I can talk about Dr. Ravi. See, a couple of things I should mention. He was a very, very sincere worker, especially in teachers' movement. A very, very sincere person. Very rarely you come across him. The same sincerity you could show in research. He used to work like anything. During the summer once, very extremely hot at that time, that greenhouse. He didn't have any facility. He was able to work. But too, he must be in his 40s, late 40s or something like that. He was able to do it. Very difficult. Very sincere, without any facility. He acquired a lot of things from various, and he got his works analyzed, some of the works analyzed at the Spitz Foundation, then IIT Madras, Central Instrumentation Lab. Then he went all the way to Aridas University where we got this melanin analyzed. But these are for, see, usually faculty, teachers are allowed to go for research under faculty improvement program. Most of the teachers are not very clear because they have family and other commitments, etc. It's not that easy. But you are saying primarily because. So, students as well as guys, they are going to be sincere, they are going to be, dedicated to that work, and definitely the ultimate result will be good. This is what exactly is happening. And as Surya pointed out earlier, Surya is lucky in more than one way. All students are very sincere. Started from Dr. Ravi, and all the students are very, very sincere. And the family, everybody, they were able to, contribute to his success. Therefore, in that respect, Surya is extremely lucky. I've been telling this over the years, and he has mentioned that. I think, there is another interesting thing, I could see now. I could see students belonging to various batches here, from the 80s, 90s, and then up to 2009, I think I was there. I could say this is the only occasion where you can, see students belonging to various, years of that way I am very happy about that. And then Dr. Rajagopalan contacted me about this. I told him, please make it very simple about it. No, sir, it's not there. We are going to do that. Everybody is like that and all that. He has mentioned that. Then I thought, okay, I'll give it to you. So, I'm extremely happy to be with you all. Once again, I thank the organizers and students. I think some of you are coming all the way from districts. But, I'm extremely happy to see you all. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Then we'll have a group photo.
I thank you all. So I proud and pride stand in front of you, and especially my mentors and my teachers and my students also. So I thank one and all to every participation and the contribution to successfully completed this unforgettable event and occasions. And most of the students came from long distance. Already the time is gone. So I thank once again to all. I request to all to join our delicious dinner.
Sure, thank you. Sir, other thing. Bharat, restaurant. இதை மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் க்ளீன் பண்ணி போட்டோ எடுத்து சார் அப்படியே வந்து போதும்